Well, what do we have here? Another installment of DB2 Bets brought to you by Betstamp, where we use the Betstamp app to find those best odds available across all different books, and by Yup Beer. Visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. There's over 200 across the province, so you might as well go check out your local grocery store. I was in Loblaws the other day, just found a case over there, so I had to pick up a case and then send them the bill. So make sure you check out yupbeer.com to find a location near you. What's going on? It's your host, Josh Elijah. No Mike, as he is now on paternity leave officially. Shout out to our boy, Mike Fulmer. And wish him all the best to him and his new family as well. Hope you've been having a great week. Hope you've been having a great day. Hopefully you've been having a better day than Chet Holmgren. That's really disappointing news right out the gates. As cocky as the kid is, man, it just really sucks to see such a great talent go down right before the season. But I mean, like, it sucks, but like, we knew there was probably going to be some sort of injury problems. It just sucks to happen at a pro-am game, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully you've been having a good day. Bird, how have you been?
I mean, dude, my week has been absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I just moved my business that I work with to a new warehouse in
Indestructible.
Indestructible in Etobicoke. And let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff, and you don't realize it until it's all there, and you're like, holy shit, how do we fit this in our tiny ass space? Dude, we had 2 storage units. One was like a normal storage unit, and the second one was like literally some dude's basement apartment that he rented to us. And the whole apartment was just like,
it's so beat.
Yeah, it's beat as fuck, but like, it was down the street, so it was like pretty convenient.
Yeah.
But man, it's been crazy.
The new spot is looking fresh as fuck.
Dude.
We've been putting in a lot of hard work. It's been a crazy last few months as well, just organizing all the details for that. But kudos to you, man. It's looking sick, and I mean, I'm pretty pumped for it as well, because we're gonna be seeing some new merch dropping as well. Keep your eye out for that, as we'll be plugging that on the show as well. So that's big ups to you. That's fantastic. But without further ado, I want to bring in our guest for the show. Beyond pumped to be able to bring this guy on. We've been chatting for quite some time, and he's actually with one of our favorite sports books, Coolbet, which always seems to find its way onto our show in one way or another, because they always have the best odds that are out there. We constantly pump Coolbet, because it's just where the money is, and it's the most value for your buck. So very excited to be bringing on the social media and content manager, Jake Moss, on the show. Jake, my man, finally we've made it. Here we are. We're on the same show here. Glad to have you. Thanks again for jumping on here.
Yeah, boys. Thanks for having me. It's been a long time coming, so glad I could make it on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And you know what? We're going to be doing things different this episode here, because we have you from Coolbet on. We're actually going to be doing all of our picks are going to be Coolbet right through the board. So we're going to be riding Coolbet for this, and I'm super pumped, and we'll be breaking down some of the odds as well. But before we get to our picks, Jake, let's just chat and let our viewers and our listeners know a little bit more about you and about your background and how you actually got into this field.
Yeah, so I've been with Coolbet for full time for about a year now, or coming up on a year. And actually started as an intern back in May of last year, just doing some blog writing, some social media help, graphic work, stuff like that.
Of course.
And actually, the way I came across Coolbet was through my sports journalism program I did with Centennial College.
Oh,
so
right
that
on.
Was 2020, and then it was supposed to be a year, 2020 to the end of the year. Obviously, COVID kind of threw a damper on that. So
of course,
we extend into 21, and then kind of just waiting for a job. We had to complete the program. We needed some sort of internship, and it was a bit of a grind. You know, you don't know if you should just try to apply for everything or wait for something you like. And then, sure enough, our head supervisor reached out and said, "Oh, I heard you're the betting guy." And I said, "Well, I mean, I'd like to pride myself as
I
someone who likes to
mean,
dabble. I like to dabble." So yeah. So
absolutely.
anyways, he put me in touch with my old boss, Chris, and he brought me in as an intern, and then I ended up being full time. So yeah, recently switched positions here. I was a coordinator, and then kind of moved up here as kind of the job hierarchies happen. People leaving,
Mhm.
people come in, and so yeah, now managing the socials. A lot of what you see on our Twitter, Instagram, I'm usually throwing up one way or the other. So
Absolutely. And you know what, man? It's great. And especially Jesse, I know that the last few guests that we've had on, it's crazy because, a lot of them, the overlying theme is that because of the pandemic, it's really opened up other opportunities. Even obviously it's been some of the tougher times that, mankind's actually had to face, but damn, like some of the doors that it's opened up, like not even when it comes to our show, but even Jake, for your example as well. I mean, like it's really opened up some different avenues, and I mean, for the best, even. I mean, one door closed and another one open, so that's really great to hear.
Mhm.
yeah, who knows, right? Like if the pandemic doesn't happen and we do end in say December when we're supposed to, I'm probably not
Mhm.
sitting here with you guys right now. So butterfly effect, it's pretty crazy, but here we are.
Yeah.
Cheers to that, my man. Cheers to that. Absolutely. Mm. So tell us a little bit about Coolbet. Like I mentioned, we pump it all the time, and we obviously use the book quite often. Tell us how maybe Coolbet started, and tell us a little bit more about the actual book itself.
Yeah. So we're actually out of Estonia is where our head office is.
Right on.
Recently regulated in Ontario on April 4th of this year.
Big
So,
day.
yeah,
Huge day. Yeah.
huge day, huge day. That's when everyone was able to start legally gambling, even though people were legally
Right, of
gambling
course.
before in a gray
Been
area.
doing it for years. Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's when everyone kind of moved into the regulated space. So we're with all the we're in the market with all the big dogs, the FanDuels and the DraftKings and all those guys of the world.
Of course.
And yeah, so like I said, started in Estonia. We had a Malta gaming license. We've been in Canada, I think, for maybe coming on 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
Mhm.
So still pretty early for us, but we just pride ourselves on being kind of that Canadian focused, give you the best odds when it comes to the Jays, like we're going to talk about in a little bit. Whether it's
Mhm.
lacrosse odds that not all the books have, or CFL odds that not all the books have. And, we just want to pride ourselves on being that kind of
Right.
Canadian focused book, giving out the best odds. And I know you
Absolutely.
talked about it already, seeing us a ton when it comes to bets and on Betstamp. And we just, we want to
Mhm.
give people the best place to bet and the best place to make the most money they can when making a bet.
And I'd say that really does set you aside from some of these other books as well. I mean, and we obviously use BetStamp for that line shopping tool, and being able to have the player prop comparison tool as well, and everything else. And man, Coolbet's just always on there. And I've actually got a couple other books that I've highlighted over here that it really teach you how to, or the value within line shopping, because if you're looking at books like Coolbet, they're going to highlight those better odds, and we're going to compare those to some of the other ones that we see out there on a regular basis. But without further ado, let's jump right into it and talk about some of our bets. And again, of course, this is always brought to you by BetStamp. Some real big news, actually. We just inked a longer term extension with BetStamp as well. They've been with us from the
Damn.
start when we started this show back in April. Look at that timing, huh? Do you think that was calculated decision? Man. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm actually going to be releasing an article for it tomorrow, talking about it. Actually, today when this is released. But yeah, we wanted to make sure that we aligned ourselves with a partner that was definitely making waves in that industry as well, and really just changing the way bettors go about placing their picks, and with some of the analytics that this app has to offer. It's a no-brainer. It's a free app. Go to the App Store. It's compatible on Apple products and Android as well. But make sure you go to betstamp.app/onboarding. New landing page, betstamp.app/onboarding. Use promo code DB2 or download that app. You got to have the app. It's free. put in the referral code DB2, and that unlocks all of the different sign-up bonuses that these amazing sportsbooks have to offer. But for this episode, we are focusing on Coolbet. And you know what? It was easy because I'm like looking at all the picks that we have together here. We got 4 of them free here. And Coolbet has, I'm not even joking, you can go on Betstamp and check it out and compare. But Coolbet has the best odds for these games. So I'm really excited to jump right into it. So why don't we start off with your first pick? We were talking about this a little bit earlier before we jumped on the recording here, Jake, and we're starting off with the Braves and Cardinals matchup that we have for Friday, August the 26th. Let's start with that.
Yeah, 270+ win teams, couple powerhouses. When I initially looked at this line, I mean, Braves on the road in St. Louis, and they're the favorites. So that's one thing that kind of stands out to me.
Yeah.
You look at the pitching. You look at the pitching matchup. You got Strider versus Quintana. I give them the immediate advantage. I think Strider's been awesome this year. If you look at his last start against St. Louis, I think he had struck out 12, allowed 2 hits, no earned through 6. I mean, that's pretty good.
Pretty damn
I think
good.
they end up losing that one in extras, but that's neither here nor there. So I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the Braves money line. I think when you initially sent me the message, they were -135. I think they might be. I looked again; it was -139. So already some movement. Obviously, some money coming in on Atlanta that would be causing that movement. So
exactly,
get it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot. And I like the Braves. I mean, I think it feels like this Mets run is inevitably. They're going to make the playoffs, but wouldn't it be so Mets for them to lose out after losing their division all year long? Wouldn't it be so Mets to see them?
That would so Mets of them.
That's so funny.
So, absolutely.
Yeah. And the Braves have been hot.
And you know what? Like, as we were thinking before this show, I am a St. Louis Cardinals fan, on top of obviously being a Jays fan as well. So it's always tough to bet against the Cards for me. But you know what? You're absolutely right. Strider, I mean, I have him in my fantasy, and he's been lights out. He's been incredible. We got a 7-4 record. Could be a bit better than that, actually, because of the way he's been pitching. He's sporting a 2.95 ERA against Quintana. Not really sold on. I mean, he's serviceable. He's got a 4-5 record, 3.45 ERA. It would be a different story, be having probably a different conversation if we had Montgomery in there, who has been like probably the steal of the trade deadline as well and been pitching lights out. But it's not. We got Quintana, and you know what? I am comfortable with going against my Cardinals here and taking the Atlanta Braves on the money line -139, and that is available on Coolbet. Obviously, is what we're rolling with. Just to paint a picture for you here, other books out there, we say that Coolbet, and you can again go ahead and double check that Coolbet has the best odds out there. Comparatively speaking, some of the other ones, most of them are hovering in and around -145. So BetMGM, great example of a powerhouse sports book that that you're there with the top dogs as well. They are giving you odds at -145. Why would you take -145 if you have the option to be able to take at -139? So take some of that money out of your BetMGM book and open up a Coolbet book and place a little bit of money, because you're going to have more bang for your buck. Obviously, a better return. That's a great value bet. So take the Braves while you can. Money line -139 on Coolbet. Love it. Let's move over to our second baseball pick here. We were chatting about this. We're gonna have to do a homer pick here. We're gonna have to take our Blue Jays. They've been cleaning up their act, obviously going 3-4 against that series against the Yanks.
Can't wait for this one to bite us in the ass.
They've been taking care of business in Boston. I mean, they've been hitting like crazy in Boston, but then again, which team fucking doesn't in Fenway? So they're already taking care. They're doing well already right now as we record. So going into a weekend stand against the Angels, we got Detmers 4-4 against Mitch White, our new boy, Whitey, taking the mound as well. What do we like here, Jake?
Yeah, I think we're just going to roll with the Jays. We might have to go run line. I don't know if it's out yet. Money line is a little juicy if you don't want to take the big number, but I don't know. This team, they've really picked it up. Obviously, since that Stripling start seems to be where their turning point was. They've only lost one since then. And I mean, they're just finding ways to win as opposed to finding ways to lose, which is important down the stretch here, right? The wild card race is as tight as it could be between the Rays. I mean, the Rays, the Mariners, the Jays, and then the Orioles, the White Sox, Twins, all kind of outside looking in. It's going to be tight the whole way down the stretch. I think they were talking about it yesterday. You got to win series, and no better way to start off by winning a series by winning the first game. So
absolutely,
I like the way Mitch White's been. I think if he can get us 5 innings, like of a decent start, I think there's no issue in Toronto. Team's got to be able to show up. And I think it's going to be a packed house this week. And we know what's going on Saturday. We actually do have a little exclusive that I can tease right now, maybe tell you at the end of the show for Saturday.
Breaking news?
Yes, drop that fire.
Oh, my God.
Jakey boy. All right,
yeah,
what you got
I mean, I can drop it now. Yeah. So, so we talked about it today with our guys. We're going to have it up probably on Saturday. It's going to be Manoah and Ohtani combined strikeouts. We don't know the number just yet, just because we don't have the lines. But it'll be Manoah and Ohtani combined strikeouts, likely around, I imagine, like a 18 to 20 range. Obviously, both those guys are strikeout machines. Angels strike out a ton, and Ohtani just strikes out everybody. So, yeah, I think that'll be a fun little bet, something a little different. And we'll have that in our Coolbet specials. So
absolutely,
keep your eye out on Saturday.
We'll be sure to pump that. Heard it here first. This will be dropping obviously Friday, August the 26th. And we'll this is great. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that. Gotta love that. It's a huge powerhouse matchup. So yeah, definitely going to be looking.
That's going to be a really fun game just to watch. Even
well, and they've got the anniversary, right? It's the 92 anniversary of the World Series, and a bunch of the guys coming back, and they're giving out those jackets. It's going to be, I think, this weekend at the ballpark is going to be a fun weekend to be there.
It's my 7-year anniversary with my fiance. Though. Maybe I can fucking swing something. Hey, sweetheart, I got you a jacket.
I got you a new jacket.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it'd be sweet to be able to swing that, but it's fine to dream. But going back to Friday's game here, we got Mitch White. White has been serviceable. I like to see that he's gotten down, bumped down his ERA. It was hovering over 5 before. Now it's down to 3.64 with some great starts for the Jays. He got his first one out of the way. A bit of the jitters his first outing, but he was able to really settle down and give us some quality starts with this team. I definitely like him. Whether or not you're going to go with Mitch White or if you're going to go with Stripling as your number 4 starter going to the playoffs, I probably think that you give the nod to Stripling. So I'm excited to see Mitch White. Hopefully he can give us, like you said, another 5 innings and really give us a sort of preview of what he's going to be able to do for us in the pen as we go towards keep our playoffs hopes alive as well. And into the playoffs, hopefully. But yes, when we're talking about the actual game itself, Blue Jays, or the bet itself, Blue Jays money line, we locked it in at -172, and we're already seeing the line move. So we're going to stick with the money line -172, and I think that's actually pretty decent, especially because you look at some of these other sportsbook. Again, BetMGM, we love BetMGM. It's fine, but they have them at -185. I mean, that's a huge difference. Obviously, you're going to get more bang for your buck by going with Coolbet. Looking on BetStamp right now for that Friday game, Coolbet actually has the run line at -1.5, obviously at +112, which is I'm looking at everything else at being plus 105. +105 I'm seeing at some other books here. BetMGM +105. There you have it. So you would obviously want to be able to take the run line there +112. We're going to play it safe just for the sake of our record here. We're hovering. We're right at 500, and we're hopefully coming out of this above 500 after this episode. So we're gonna play it a little bit more safe here and take them at the money line here. But you would say that you might even take them on the run line. Is that something you might do, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you get a little bit better valued. It's that extra run, right? That's how it works, right? So they're going to need to win by 2 or more, but at the same time, I mean, it's the Angels. They've kind of handled it in the season outside of Ohtani and Trout. It's really not a whole lot going on. If you're betting the Blue Jays and you're not betting with us, you're losing money. I'm telling you right now, there's more money to be made. We always have the Blue Jays we pride ourselves on having the Blue Jays at the best number. And just keep an eye out for, if you're going to bet the Blue Jays, make sure you check with us before you're betting anywhere else.
Bam! You
That's
fucking heard it.
fantastic.
You heard it.
I love
I
that.
love that, man. Fucking cheers to that too. Yeah, I'll take a sip.
I'm just a walking billboard. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah,
the whole
that's
get
fine.
so.
Yo, you send us that
That's great.
swag, we'll fucking rep it every episode.
Yeah,
I don't give
seriously.
a damn. But yeah, we're
100%.
gonna take the Toronto Blue Jays, obviously. Moneyline, -172, available on Coolbet. Look it up on the Coolbet app. Are you guys actually coming out with a mobile app, or is this all on the web-based browser?
Yeah, so the app is on its way.
Yeah.
Not going to be the start of football season, not going to be, but it should be in the middle of September. We should have the app roll out.
Can't wait.
And I know that's a big, I think that would be a big selling point for myself if I wasn't with Coolbet. So I think that's going to be a huge part for everybody.
Absolutely.
We should see a ton of new customers once we do get the app. It makes it a lot easier too with the way the geolocator and stuff works.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Apple does it directly with the apps, and it'll be something that'll help us and help all the other bettors when they're signing up with us. So
your web-based app though is super slick, and
it's great.
It's great. So we have no problem using that either. So once again, we're taking the Toronto Blue Jays Moneyline -172, available on Coolbet. Don't even bother looking at any other books. Just go on Betstamp and you'll be able to see that the proof is in the pudding. Go with Coolbet. All right. Transitioning. This is the first time we're ever talking about college football on the show. This is nuts. And I'm going to have to hand this over to you because, for me, obviously, like we were talking about, there's just so many teams when it comes to college football, but we're starting off here. Man, like I there's just so much sports going on sometimes. The names are
fantastic,
fucking wacky. But yeah, for especially when it comes to college basketball, obviously getting fired up. When in and around February, you start paying attention a little bit more to some of these teams and some of these players that are going to have promised to be drafted into the NBA. Obviously, so that's usually where my allegiance lies. I don't know anything about college football. I'll be completely honest with you. Why don't you teach us a thing or two here and tell us why we're going with a couple of our picks here. Starting off with the Wyoming Cowboys versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that was dead on. That was good.
Nice.
For someone who doesn't know anything about college.
Fucking dumb
ball.
name. Why the Illinois Fighting Illini?
What is an Illini?
Who fucking knows? Ask anybody who goes to that school, I suppose.
I have no idea.
Break it down for us, Jake. What do we got?
Yeah, we're going with the under in this one. And I know people, first of all, hate betting unders because what's the fun in betting an under? I know when people see low numbers, they hate betting unders on low numbers. But guess what? Most of the time, the reason the number is that low is because there's probably not going to be a lot of points in the game.
No.
Think about how close Vegas is all the time with these totals, with these spreads. And obviously, there's a ton of times where they're not close. But the ones you remember are the ones where they're dead on.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This one, I believe, opened around 46. It's down to 44. I think this morning it was around -112. I think it's hovering around -110, right around the same area.
-110.
Yeah. So I think I'm going under 44 here for the Wyoming-Illinois game. Illinois was top of the league in unders last year. I think 3-9-1 or something, a push in there.
Great.
Wyoming right around 500. But I think early on in the season with college football, a lot of these teams are still trying to get in the rhythm, especially offenses. So I think we're going to see a ton of punts, just hopefully not a lot of turnovers. That can be what derails an under very fast. There's turnovers. So we'll hope to see a ton of punts, maybe some longer drives, a lot of running the football, and keep this one under 44 in that first game. So, yeah, a lot of my college betting comes from just the way the line moves, the way where the money's going. And yeah, this one 46-44, and you might even see it come down again, or it might be in the right spot now, but I doubt it comes back up. So probably get it where it is now in case it does happen to move again. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. You know what? I'm one of those guys that I kind of like the under, especially if it's two teams that I fucking hate. If I'm just like, I want to see both of these teams just fucking lose. But you can't. There's always got to be a winner. But I can be a winner if they both just score under. So obviously, you know what? Fuck both of these teams. Fuck Wyoming. Fuck the Illini. I hope they put up 10 points combined. Yeah, man, we're gonna go with the under. Fuck it, we're gonna go with the under. And I was using Betstamp obviously to find the best odds, and lo and behold, Coolbet tied for the best odds. There's other sports books Other sports books have them at minus 110, but yeah, Coolbet minus 110, and then Bet99 actually has them at minus 115. So I mean, that's just it's between minus 110 or minus 115. Generally, what you're going to see with an over and under, but yeah, tied for the top. So it's a no-brainer again here. I'm going to go with the under for the Wyoming Cowboys and Illinois Fighting Illini under 44 points. 44 is the number. Let's keep it under that.
Yep, agreed.
Love it. And then finally, we're moving over to North Texas Mean Green against the UTEP Miners. That's the University of Texas and El Paso. Tell us about our pick here. The Mean Green. You know,
yeah.
It's starting off North Texas. You don't think they're gonna go Mean Green, but they do. So it's a bit of a battle of Texas here. Tell us about why we're going UTEP.
Yeah, this is actually like a divisional game or whatever you want to call it for college ball. It's in conference, I guess.
Yes.
To start the season out, they're expecting a sold-out crowd at UTEP. So right then they get the home field advantage. And I think it opened. I think it's kind of flipped. I think it opened with North Texas at a -1 favorite, and now I think it's flipped to the other side. And it's pretty much a pick 'em at this point. I think you're getting a little bit better value on UTEP.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's one that stood out to me as a home team in a pick 'em early on in the season.
Yep.
When things aren't going well, or when things are still working on getting in rhythm, like I mentioned before, I think having the home team, having the crowd behind you is going to be major. And I think in a conference matchup, this is the game you need to win to start your season. So I'm going to take UTEP at home on the money line. I think they're -105. And
they are.
That's a little better value than North Texas on their money line. I think they're sitting around -115. So
yeah,
we're getting the home dog basically. Not really. You're not getting the plus money on the dog, but it's a dog when it comes to what the other side is looking like. So yeah, let's take UTEP and win a couple early college football.
There it is. We're going to take UTEP on the money line. -105 was the right in around, like you mentioned, they were flipping back and forth. So right in around at the best odds that are available throughout all the different sports books, once again, with Coolbet. So we're going to take UTEP, the UTEP Miners on the money line, -105 as they take on the North Texas Mean Green. Bit of home cooking right here, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'll tell you, my fiance is going to be pissed when I'm watching fucking college football on her anniversary. She hates that I watch football, period. She's like, when the fuck did you start liking football? And I'm like, since well before I ever fucking met you. And now she's going to watch me watching fucking college football. She's going to lose her mind. So yeah, I mean, I'll at least have the alerts going on my phone. But that's it. That's what we got for our picks here. And it's time for the pick and roll, brought to you by Betstamp. We're using the Betstamp app and finding all those best odds available. And by Yup Beer, visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go. Starting off with the Atlanta Braves. We're taking them on the money line, -139 on, you guessed it, Coolbet. And then we're moving on over to the Toronto Blue Jays. Taking them on the money line, -172, also available on Coolbet. Then we're going to take the Wyoming Cowboys and Illinois Fighting Illini. The under on the game, under 44 points at -110 on Coolbet, followed by UTEP Miners. We're taking them on the money line, -105, obviously available on Coolbet as they take on the North Texas Mean Green. One more time, Jake Moss, everyone. Jake, my man, thank you so much for jumping on the show. We got to have you back on. You're a wealth of knowledge, and honestly, just coming from one of our favorite books. So we love to support the boys. Got to have you back on again.
Yeah, boys. Thanks so much for having me. And whenever you need me, I'm usually around. Just hit me up.
Yeah, absolutely. For Josh, Elijah, and Birdman as well. Have yourself a great weekend. Talk to you soon. See you all next week. Cheers, guys.